Calculate the sum of squared deviations and the variance for the following sample of scores. So we've got the scores 2, 6, and 10. And so it's either going to be that the sum of squares is 32 and the variance is 9, sum of squares is 32 and the variance is 16, sum of squares is 140, variance is 70, or sum of squares is 140 and the variance is 110. To do this, I'm going to start off with the definitional formula. So that is x minus the sample mean, because we're dealing with a sample, squared. And that means that I need to know what my sample mean is. So it's going to be the sum of x over little n. Now I need to know the sum of x to get that done. So 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 10 makes 18. And so I've got 18 divided by 3 scores is 6. So in order to work this out, I'm going to follow the order of operations, considering that I've got addition, that's what summation is. I've got brackets, I've got subtraction, and I've got exponents. I'm going to do first, I'm going to do my brackets. And so x minus the sample mean is what's in brackets. So I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to subtract 6. So that's minus 4. 6 minus 6 is 0. 10 minus 6 is positive 4. This checks out because when you sum up your deviations, not your square deviations, but just your deviations, they always have to come out to be 0. What we want, however, now that we've done our brackets, we want to move on to our exponents. So we're going to square all of the previous results. Then we're going to add them up, and that will give us the sum of the squared deviations. Okay, so let's square these guys. That's minus 4 times minus 4 is 16. This is 0. This is also 16. And so this gives me a total sum of squared deviations of 32. So we know that it's going to be either this one or this one. So these guys are out. Now what about the variance? Well, if my sum of squares turned out to be 32, and I've got a sample, I can find my variance just by taking the sum of squares and dividing by small n minus 1. So that's going to be 32 over what's n? N was 3, so 3 minus 1, that's 2. It will be 32 over 2 is 16. So the variance is 16. So B is my answer.